Hello everyone, today I'll be walking you through the backend structure of a web application which allows users to post and manage ads. This first version focuses on implementing essential backend features like CRUD operations and user authentication. So we start with setting up Techify backend project folder, initializing package.json and installing the necessary dependencies such as Express, Mongoose, bodyparser, course.env, etc. Then we set up the .env file to store MongoDB underscore URI, JWT underscore secret and port. After that, we configure app.js to connect to MongoDB using Mongoose. Now we define the user model schema. We create the user.js file in the models folder and define fields for username, password, and email. Then we create the controller logic to handle user registration, including password hashing. In userController.js, the registration function creates a new user by hashing their password using bcrypt before saving the user data. Also, we create a controller logic to handle user login and return a JWT token. The login function authenticates a user, it verifies credentials, generates a JWT token using JSON Web Token, and returns this token for subsequent secure API calls. Then we set up the authentication middleware. We create auth middleware.js to verify the JWT tokens and protect routes. In it, the authenticate function checks for a valid JWT token in the request headers. If valid, it attaches the decoded user information to req.user, allowing protected routes to be assessed. If something is missing or invalid, the function returns an error message. After this, we create add.js file in the models folder and define fields for title, description, price, user ID, start date, and end date. After this, we implement endpoints. We implement endpoint for creating an ad and create a controller logic to allow authenticated users to create a new ad. We also implement endpoint for retrieving all ads and create a controller logic to fetch and return all the ads for anonymous viewing. Then we implement endpoint for getting a specific ad and create a user and then we create a controller logic to find a specific ad by its ID. Then we create an endpoint for updating an ad and create a controller logic to allow an authenticated user to edit an ad they own. After this, we also implement endpoint for disabling an ad and create controller logic for the authenticated users to disable their own ad without deleting it. We also create endpoint for anonymous users to ask questions and create a controller logic to enable the anonymous users to post questions to an ad with questions stored in the database. We also implement endpoint for ad owner to answer to the questions posted on their ads, and we create a controller logic to implement to enable an ad owner to respond to the questions posted on their ads. To sum up, this backend application implements key features including secure user authentication, comprehensive CRUD operations for ads, and clear modular code structure. Thank you.
Hi everybody, in this demonstration video I am going to demonstrate how our backend application works. In our backend application, users can register and log in into the application, and then they can post ads by which they can sell or buy different electronic items. Users can also any anonymous users can also create a question, and only the registered users, only the authenticated users can answer these questions. So let's dive into this demonstration. First of all, I'm going to demonstrate the user registration endpoint. So I'm using the post request. I'm registering this user Julio as a username, password and email. So let's register. This endpoint is working successfully. Next, let's test the user login request. I'm using post request for it, and user login needs only two fields like username and password for that. So if I click hit, it generated a new token which will help us to authenticate the user. So for this user I am going to post a new ad for the title used iPad for sale with the description, price, start date and end date. I just need to update like use a token which I previously got from the last request. So let's post an ad here. So I can see that ad has been posted and with the status true. I would need this ad ID in the next stages. So if I need to get all the ads which are on my server, I can simply request get request on this endpoint without any body or without any authentication. Let's send this request. So I can see there are plenty of ads which have already been posted on this, but to demonstrate, so yes, this is our latest ad which we just posted. Suppose if any user wants to update this ad, so he needs basically 5 things: title, description, price, start date and end date. So let's, yeah, so this is perfectly working. Ad status is still true. So before disabling this ad, I want to show you how we can post a question. So for posting a question, I need to refer to what ad I am posting this. So let's copy this ad ID again, and I will update this here. Let's post it. Okay, I'm using localhost 3000. So this is question has been created to this ad. So if I want to answer this ad, I need to localhost 3000 / API / ads and ad ID. In this ad ID there, so I will just copy their ad ID, and then I need question ID. Question ID is this one. So I will copy this question ID here. So let's send the request. So our answer has also been updated. So the last endpoint, which is our disabling this ad. So to disable this ad, we just need the ad ID. So this is the ad ID. I can copy paste it here and just hit disable. Yes, ad disabled successfully. So if we can check from get all ads, so we can see that our ad status is inactive now. So our ad has been successfully disabled. So that was the overall functionality of our backend application.